Welcome to City on a Hill Gaming, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast. Let's meet our players.
Hi, I'm Grant, and I'm playing Trather Wimlin, a human fighter.
Hi, I'm Jenny, and I'm going to be playing John Abermere, a Crimson-born human.
Peter, Bertrand Greystone, Dwarven Forge Cleric.
William R. Aarakocro Magi.
Daniel, I am playing Vatten. I am a half-elf ranger.
Hi, my name is Ben, and I am Twig, or Shem. I am a rogue bard and a Goliath.
We hope you enjoy our episode. Welcome back to City on a Hill Gaming. I am your Game Master, Ryan. We're back for some of that good old-fashioned 5th, well, it's not really, don't worry, it's fine. Yeah, 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons with our actual play podcast. Got the whole group back with us this time, and it is time for, I assume, puns and some rolling of some dice and at least 1-7 from Grant because we're consistent.
It's what I do.
And if he doesn't roll one, I'm fudging it. That's fine.
Oh, don't worry.
You can't see the numbers. You don't know. We make it work around here. Okay, so when we left off last time, you guys had entered the giant, mysteriously appearing very quickly tower in the nomadic encampment of Greven that was full of orcs and Kinku friends, and you had gone full Gideon from the Old Testament to distract them, and did quite well, and entered the tower and proceeded to dispatch of a handful of orcs, including one gentleman with a large black feathered mantle standing near a very large, possibly not real fire. And you had kind of dealt with that situation. Everyone make me, I will take perception or investigation, please. Everyone except Jenny.
As a 2.
That's solid. There's definitely a fire in the room. Okay, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Wow.
Somebody competent rolled something.
What was that?
Okay, so we have a 2, a 6, a 6, a 19, and Ben's got it, but Daniel, if you want to throw one out there, go for it.
Rolling in late.
22. Perfect.
There you go.
Okay. Dig it. So between Shem and Vatten, you guys find a handful of things, but most importantly, most interestingly, probably, over on the eastern wall, you find a thing that probably moves in the wall. Something that looks a little out of place, like you might, if you put pressure on it, it might shift out of the way.
Yep.
Is there anything disturbingly interesting on the table?
There's just a bunch of notes and a couple of maps. Mostly the
Just
region
checking.
you're familiar with. A few markings you don't recognize, but we'll come back to those in a minute.
Cool. We'll scoop those up or something.
Yes. Ben. Lock picking.
Yes. All of that lock picking skill.
With those tools, I believe.
And that's just a slight. No, that's.
I think it's a
Oh,
lock
sorry.
picking check. Or it's like a
24.
That's the thing. There it is. Okay, so this panel in the wall kind of pushes back, slides over, and you see a much smaller room. And across from you is another open door leading into this space. And inside this giant room, not giant room, actually quite small room, you see a handful of people, 4 of which you recognize. So in the room, you see 2 Jedit, which you knew going into the tower that 2 of the nomadic cat people had been taken by the orcs, and that's part of what you were looking for in the tower. Good chance that's these. You also see 2 orcs and 2 warforged that you recognize. All 4 of them were outside of the town where you fought the air elementals, and they were the ones who fought the other air elemental.
I see.
Hey, folks, fancy meeting you here.
They look momentarily surprised and then momentarily not that surprised because it's you guys. And this seems to be kind of a pattern. One of them speaks up. And you actually recognize her for 2 reasons. One, from the air elemental, and 2, when you guys went into the other orc tower near the beginning and rescued Duchess Kaya's son and daughter-in-law.
Yep.
There was the 3rd orc that was, or there was the second orc female that was in the same cell they were in, who just kind of very politely thanked you, refused to give her name, grabbed her equipment, and left. She actually steps forward. Huh, well, interesting. You guys always wind up following the same thing I am. Welcome.
You have got to stop getting locked in towers.
Oh, she is actually on the opposite side of the cell. She appears to be coming and going freely.
Oh,
It's
well
just
then.
a two-jetted, and actually one of the Warforged has pulled the door open. It was maybe locked when it started, but that's not important now. The Warforged didn't seem to care particularly about the lock.
Ah, well then.
She looks at you and says, okay, well, wait, why were you here? You're chasing him too, aren't you?
If you mean the unconscious orc in the other room, he's been dealt with.
She kind of leans her head around and looks out the opening. Oh, I'm impressed. Not the first time. Not bad. That would be. See. Okay. So I'm going to be honest. We came here looking for the crow. No offense. I find it unlikely you guys would have been able to dispatch of him. That she peeks back around. Looks, there's like little birds flying over his head. You know, Sylvester the cat style.
Did you almost say Stallone?
No, but that would have been funnier. Rocky would have been not nearly as good a movie if that was the case. She, not to be rude, but I expect a lot of you guys, but I don't expect that. Interesting. Ben.
I am reasonably well trained.
No argument there, Sir Wimlin. No argument there. Ben and Daniel, you notice something else. There's the door you guys came in. There's another door on the opposite wall that they came in. There's a third door at the top.
Is it like hidden?
Yes.
Just slowly, like while talking, just backing toward the door.
One of the Warforged looks at you. I already tried it. It's locked. I can't pull that one open.
That's you. Hold on. And with ridiculous cockiness.
This can only go positively. Show me a 4. 14. Okay, that's fine. I'll allow it. You think not only
With ridiculous cockiness, I do moderately well.
I was gonna say I was totally ready to fail that.
You know that's right. You pull it open, and you notice it opens actually rather freely. You think it's been opened very recently. So it puts you guys in a small hallway with one more door that does not appear to be locked. And sitting next to the door, you see a very large duffel bag. And when I say very large, like, you remember, like, okay, so, like, you know how, Ben, you remember all the Goliath Shim grew up with?
Right.
This is too big a backpack for most of them.
Right.
And there's a space on the opposite side of the door where it looks like there might have been another bag similar to it sitting. And outside, maybe even before you get to the door, you hear the sound of wings. Really large wings. And outside, if you guys peek out, flying off in the distance, you see a very, very large, like, obsidian-colored dragon flying away.
Huh.
So check the bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, go for it.
I'm asking everyone if we want me to, because I will totally do it. Totally ready to lose my hand.
Check for traps
I
first.
believe you.
Yeah.
I don't know how you trap a bag, but
I don't either. I'm gonna do
mimic?
That's what I was also thinking.
Wait, hold on. Let me write something down. I need to.
no, stop.
There's an idea.
He was the best of us until he was eaten by that duffel bag.
Is this leather bag the size of a chest?
Roughly. Actually, there's not a. Okay, we'll worry about that later. It's fine. The bag does not appear to be trapped.
Okay. So, you want to check the bag?
Inside, you find a pouch.
Check the pouch for traps.
Yes, check the pouch for traps. Inside the pouch is 400 gold, and
Okay.
you find a journal, a note, and a collection of probably a dozen or so. Somebody make me a nature check or Arcana or something.
Will identify help me here?
Sure, I'll accept that. And actually, William, you get to roll twice because you have advantage on knowledge checks.
And I 18'd.
And you 18'd. So what you have here is a small, sort of like a chainmail bag. And inside the chainmail bag, there's a stack of roughly a dozen what appear to be dragon scales. So it's an aura you don't expressly recognize, but it does radiate magic.
Okay.
And the note... so there's the note and there's the journal. Which do you want to look at first?
Note's probably shorter. Let's start with that.
Okay. It seems kind of hastily scrawled. Very large handwriting. So close. It's the closest you've gotten. I'm very impressed. Next time, on my terms. And where in the past you've kind of seen those scrawl marks and the letter C for the crow, it actually has a large S. And then the journal, so you open the first cover, it says Magi Velroth. And as you read it tells this story of a Magi who came to Onwaru seeking this great dragon roaming the desert. The dragon was kind of causing issues for the towns on the edge of the desert, and he sought to deal with the issue. He comes into the area, and what he ends up doing is opening a portal to another plane. And his intention is to kind of force the dragon through the portal. It goes poorly. And he's kind of recounting all of this. It's almost like he's writing it afterwards. Like there's a very, like a heavily past tense tone, and his tone seems kind of somber. He talks about all these creatures and beasts and all this energy that flows out of the portal. And there is a point where his tone changes. He kind of talks about this group who helps him close the portal, force as much back into it as possible. And then he hits this kind of moment of resolution where he kind of exiles himself into the desert to find the dragon, fix what went wrong. It says, I will set right what I once broke, and what I set out to. It is my journey in life, and I will see it through.
This sounds like the mysterious boss that the Wanderers are trying to find.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. What color are these dragon scales?
Some are gray, some are sort of a shining, almost glass-like obsidian color. They seem very close to the dragon you saw fly away from here moments ago.
Sure.
Interesting. And on the edge, so as you guys are looking outside, you saw the dragon fly off. Just outside the door, you do see some footprints that kind of wander off in the direction where the dragon was, and then they just kind of stop. And there's a pair of claw marks in the ground.
Humanoid footprints?
Yes.
Or okay.
Originally.
And then claw marks.
Yes.
Right.
So we have a shape-shifty dragon.
Well,
good.
I'm going to assume.
Or somebody strong enough to make a dragon their mount. Which is...
You did only see the dragon kind of as it was flying away. It could have been something on top of it. That's possible.
Equally as terrifying.
Slightly more terrifying, I should say.
Yeah, I think I'm with Trevor on this one. Because then, like, all other things being equal, we have a dragon and somebody who's strong enough to turn a dragon into their mount.
For what
with.
So you guys have seen one other dragon since we've started. That was back the very first session.
It was significantly smaller.
Yes.
You're not wrong.
Not gonna lie.
This is probably twice the size of the dragon you encountered.
Yeah, she was reasonable too. I liked her.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, when we got to this point and I saw the large satchel too big for Goliath to carry, I thought, is that gold dragon gonna show up again? Like that, it went through my mind, and nope, just another bigger, scarier dragon.
for my own reasons, that may still be my favorite thing that's happened in this entire campaign. Because you guys just went hard left on what I expected.
That's what we do best.
You're not wrong.
I'm gonna fight you. Yeah, no, you're not.
No, you're not. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
We are civilized adventurers. Thank you very much.
But I want to bite something. Nope, we're good. But okay, it's like a kid. It's like, but I want it. Nope. This entire podcast is basically just analogies of kindergarten.
Yes.
I mean, hey, it's worked so far.
They
Okay.
started it.
We have
Yep.
a few things to take care of still, I believe.
Yes, you have some unconscious orcs, some Jedit to be returned, and a handful of orc ladies who appear to have more questions than answers, but so do you guys, so that's fine, probably.
And maybe a not small of amount of contingent orc forces we led out of the town returning.
I mean,
Yeah,
look,
that could
anything's
also
possible.
be a problem, you know.
We could all hide in the bag.
I mean,
Get
we
in the
probably
bag.
could, but who's going to carry it out of here?
The Warforged.
I mean, you're not wrong. Vatten, Bertrand, R, and possibly John could fit in the bag together.
It's like, all right, Warforged guys, I need you to carry this, and I need you to complain the entire time about how the boss just views you as a glorified forklift.
I mean, also, John is not here right now.
No, but you would fit in the bag.
I would hypothetically.
Hypothetically fit in the bag. Actually, now seems as good a time as any. So you guys kind of go back into the tower. I'm assuming Shim picks all the locks, sets the two nice Jedit people loose. And as you guys kind of
Definitely.
wrap things up in the tower, you see outside the orcs are coming back, but most of the Jedit who were going to kind of come behind you guys have shown up, and you're good on the orc front.
Oh,
they're,
good.
They're not super happy about the orcs taking all of their, land. So you're kind of covered. I wouldn't worry about that too much. They seem to have that well dealt with.
Okay, well, that's not nothing.
So the Jedit you guys talked to originally, the gentleman who kind of seems to be in charge, Dranonia, there we go, walks over, and we seem to have cleared most of the orcs. Is the tower in good shape now?
Yep, I think it's all yours at this point.
Excellent. And about this time, John, you had stayed behind with Radden at his tower to assist him with a project, and he, after a day or two, he told you where the group was going and sent you on your way, and you come upon this kind of open nomadic encampment. And there are campfires. There's a giant, entirely out of place tower, and you see kind of coming out of the tower and coming out of the kind of over the dunes, out of the area. You originally saw some orcs coming with not super happy looks on their faces, but they appear to be fighting large cat people. And then you see your, as you call them, coworkers, which is still my favorite thing, come out of the tower, and they appear to be working with the giant cat people.
Okay.
And the largest of the giant cat people catches your eye, looks slightly concerned with who you are, but you're not an orc or a kinku, so you're probably fine. He looks at your arm, and sort of a peace comes over his face. You are Crimsonborn.
I suppose so, yes.
Interesting. Our tribe was once saved from a great beast by a Crimsonborn fighter. Most excellent. I know your affliction is not easy.
No, far from it. It's not good. How can I help out? I'm with my coworkers are over there.
Oh, you travel with this lot. Most excellent. Well, as that is the case, I have one more request of you. We have a lot of cleanup to do. If it would be possible, since we are uncertain what lies in this part of the desert currently, we have been gone for some weeks. would you be able to stay and help us rebuild?
Certainly, yes.
Excellent.
The word like rebuild, like Bertrand just immediately kind of perks up. Like,
Yeah, I haven't finished the word. You've cast mending 3 times already.
yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, fixing stuff.
Okay, so they basically they relight the orc campfires. Some of them that were traveling farther behind bring in kind of sleds and hand-pulled caravans full of food. It's like the end of Return of the Jedi with all the fireworks and explosions and partying on various planets.
And they play Jub Jub, right? Not
Yes.
the other one. Okay, good.
Yeah, no,
was gonna say,
definitely the original Ewok song, 100%.
Yeah.
While everyone's building, I'm playing my own funky rendition of "We Built This City on Rock and Roll."
Pertinent to both us and saving the game. I like that episode a lot, actually.
Rock and wool.
Rock and wool.
But like a folksy version.
I was
Right.
rather proud of that name.
It's
That was really
You
good.
should be.
it's
I
the
also like
sheep-based
City in a
rendition.
Hole Gaming, which didn't actually make the cut as the episode
No.
title. But
That one I like a little less.
That's okay. We can just remake the music video of all of us running through empty buildings with no instruments except the drummer who's just holding his drumsticks for no
Right.
reason.
Perfect. I dig it.
It is the worst music video.
Urban drumming.
you all have probably never seen Bertrand happier in his life. Like, I have a whole side of things to fix here.
We,
Yeah. He's like whistling, and his actual whistling is whistling itself, which doesn't make any sense, but yet it's still happening.
your Warhammer is also whistling for some reason.
Yeah, the shield that he's wearing on his back is like whistling.
You managed to go full 7 dwarves with a single person somehow.
Yeah, just like
Have you guys
some of them bring in
watched-
the melody and the harmony. It's just
Have
like,
you guys watched The Wizard of Speed and Time by any chance? Because you're pulling directly from a scene from that movie. I'm not joking.
Wizard
now?
of what now?
The Wizard of Speed and Time.
Oh, very
Good
Huh.
luck finding it literally anywhere
Uh-oh.
because it was a super indie film. But yeah, anyway, that's a thing that you can
The
probably
Wizard of
reference somewhere.
Speed and Time. Interesting.
never even heard of it.
Fair.
Oh,
I'll have
Oh,
to Google
mercy.
that later. Okay, so
I have questions. Okay, we're not gonna worry about that right now. That's not
Bert-
good. That's a
Bertrand's
Kids on
like-
YouTube.
all right, Bertrand's fixing up things.
I can help with roof things because I now have verticality because I got Misty Step.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah, there's patchwork that
I
needs done. Someone needs to help cook all of this dope food.
Yeah, sure. Travis
I-
on that.
I was gonna help hunt and like restock supplies
Okay.
because
and
I can do rangery things.
yes, and actually, you notice as you guys are there for a little while, the 2 orcs and 2 warforged stay, and also appear to be helping rebuild. The Jedit seem somewhat confused by orcs helping, but it seems fine. No one's complaining about extra hands helping with the project. The biggest of the Jedit, Dranonian, comes over, and they build one big bonfire in the middle, and he calls everyone around, and that was bigger. It's fine, whatever. It was bigger than I meant for it to be. It's fine.
Oh, it's fine.
There we
It's
go.
No, it was fine the way it was.
Fine, one bigger than I meant. There we go, perfect. It's the size
you made
of
it too
like 2 of their houses. That's fine.
For the listeners, this is a 5x5.
This is a size huge fire.
Yes, this is
Yeah.
a 25 square foot fire
Yeah.
in a pit. I have spoken with the tribal leaders and elders. It has been decided we will wander no more. Here we will stay. Greven shall be our new home. I do not know what we will do with this tower. Frankly, it is a touch gaudy and not particularly our style, but I'm sure we will make it work.
Yeah, well, free tower, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's never a bad thing. It needs a paint
All right.
job.
Fatten is visibly biting his tongue, trying not to make a comment about a giant scratching post.
Yep, there it was. It's going to happen eventually.
I'm proud of you.
The more I use
That
giant
was
cat
good.
people, the more likely things like that are going to happen.
They're bigger than me. I shouldn't joke about scratching
No, you
posts.
shouldn't. Definitely not.
Lest you become one.
Yes.
Elves are tall and skinny and will make great scratching posts. Theoretically. Okay, so
These
this
are clad in natural fiber. It's fine.
that's
I
also
mean,
true.
you
That's
know,
a
the
ranger thing.
yelling "ow" and running away just makes it more challenging.
Oh no. Okay. So this process takes several days, but you notice mostly thanks to Bertrand's using every possible ounce of blood, sweat, and tears he possesses to use mending as often as possible. What was kind of a heavily run down, I mean, in the middle of the desert, wind and sand swept place, actually has kind of come to life a little bit. I mean, there's not really, a whole lot of planting or crops or anything because desert, but it actually seems somewhat sustainable. And they have kind of managed to fortify things. Walls are being put up to, keep out air elementals because that's a thing that happens in this area quite frequently. And they have taken to kind of using the tower as a like a church or something, like a place of worship.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of converting it from its former less positive uses to something of more uplifting use.
Oh!
Yeah.
If they're gonna do that, can Bertrand? Do we have enough time for him to contribute a stained glass window?
I
Maybe
knew
even just a small one.
I knew that was 100% what you were going to say.
Yeah,
3 words into that sentence, and yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. And Vatten has a thought, talking amongst his co-workers, amongst us, is it,
That's definitely getting made into a t-shirt. Okay, go ahead.
do we have any contacts that can set up, say, a trading post with them for regular trading? They are not in the best place as far as like food and crops, and so being able to get access to a steady supply of those would be super helpful and make this more permanent settlement.
I can talk to my lizard friend.
That would not be my first choice.
Granarm doesn't seem like a good person to talk to.
Granarm will make a great deal, kid. I promise. I haven't got to use that.
Granarm
voice in
will
like 6
make a
sessions.
killing
Thank you,
off
Ben.
of this.
Let me.
Lizards and cats.
Am I the only one who likes Grenarn?
Oh,
I don't even
he's
like
a
Granarm, and I'm his
entertaining
voice.
character, but-
I love Granarn. He delights me.
I don't even like him.
I want
That's
more
intentional.
interactions with Granarn just because Vatten is so abrasive towards him. I want more of that. 'Cause it's been
I
mentioned,
don't make any
but
promises. We'll see.
It's been mentioned, but it hasn't happened. I was gonna say on screen. That doesn't work.
No, I suppose not necessarily, does it?
But you know what I mean.
For the listeners. More
Yes.
interactions for the sake of the listeners.
Live.
Yes.
On air.
That'll work. We'll take those.
That's much better.
Okay. I'm going to admit something now, and I feel bad about this. I can't find my session notes for the first 2 sessions. I don't remember the people's names you started with.
Oh no!
Oh no!
The people who ran the We Find Jobs for Adventurers business.
Oh,
Yep, I recall them.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
so you guys know who I'm talking about.
We know who they are.
We don't remember their names either, so
That's okay.
that's okay.
I need to find those papers later because it's not on Google Docs anymore. Or no, it was.
Anonymous and who's his face?
Yes.
Who's her face, technically?
Yes.
Wasn't there a who's
That could
his
have been
face and a
anonymous.
who's her face?
I think
Yeah,
it was
there's-
a halfling and a half dwarf.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Daniel, you're pretty sure Vatten knows they have regularly gone out of their way to help people. You're pretty sure if you get back in touch with them, you can establish some kind of trade through them and some of your other contacts to get stuff brought down here pretty easily.
Yeah, I figured most of my contacts wouldn't be the most legitimate.
Not a lot of your early ones, no, but you've made some since then.
But I have this nice, title of Warden of Crossroads.
That
So
doesn't hurt anything.
Exactly.
maybe I could
And
throw that around a little bit and get something set up here.
The desert in this area actually houses a substantial amount of natural resources. Flung obsidian shards that are thrown randomly at people, but that can be crafted
Sometimes.
up into nice things.
Sometimes they have writing on them.
Occasionally, you just etch that off and start fresh. That's what laser drills are for. I mean, whatever.
Oh yes, the patented Elvish CNC machine.
Yes, gotta love routers. So you think actually the Jedit could probably harvest obsidian and some of the desert's other natural resources and use that in exchange to kind of start a not insubstantial economy. Kind of give them a better foothold to maintain this area.
Yeah, as long as they have contacts, yes, absolutely. But you can't eat obsidian, so we're gonna set that up. I'll send out messages of some sort.
You can't eat obsidian. Oh,
I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of rock beast that thinks it's delicious.
yeah, that's
but...
not a terrible. Actually, there's an idea. So after a day or two, you guys kind of have fallen in with this group, are helping the Jedit rebuild. The orcs and the Warforged have stuck around. Watchtowers are the kind of wooden watchtowers are put up. They kind of establish a routine, and one of the orcs, not the one you guys are most familiar with, another one with a really long, really well crafted, obsidian tipped, not surprisingly, possibly spear, comes up to the six of you.
Hello.
We need to have a discussion, if possible.
All right.
Sure.
We've crossed paths with you before. First, my apologies. My name is Zipporah. I am leader of the Talon.
Good to formally make your acquaintance.
The pleasure is mine. We assist the Hawk in her dealings in the region of Anwaru. She is most appreciative of your efforts to your interactions with the Crow and in finding her sister and niece. Your assistance there was most appreciated. Slice and his friends are more cunning than we wished. But it seems we have a much larger issue on our hands currently. I think we're all fairly comfortable with the fact that that large dragon is something of a nuisance and probably a much bigger threat than we originally anticipated.
Yes, that is a bigger problem.
There are rumors.
Prather will look around.
Yeah, there's
Getting nothing.
general
Okay.
nodding and stuff.
Yeah.
Fatten purposefully avoids eye contact.
There are.
Bertrand is just so happy. He's very agreeable. He's just nodding away. Like,
People are handing him things, he's fixing them, handing them back, but without looking at the projects, he's just like,
yeah,
it's like an assembly line that starts and stops with him.
this is great.
The Jedit are very fascinated by this. You've taught two of them how to do it since you've been here.
Excellent.
There are legends in this region of a great creature in the desert, a dragon, and those who serve his whims. They come in many forms and serve varying people, but all at his guidance. I am afraid these have become more than stories for us now. His name is Solnat. Some call him the Grey Dragon, some the Obsidian, and a few just simply call him Inevitable. It is a danger we would hope to avoid, but one I'm afraid is becoming more real for us now. I think it would be best if the partnerships and interactions between the Talon and the Hawk and does your group of co-workers, is it, do you have a name for which you go by?
don't
Well,
think that
yes.
we've ever bothered with that.
My name is Struther Wimlin. This is
that's
Batten.
Perfect. That's what I was shooting for.
I'll make the introductions.
Yes,
Collectively, we have never bothered to come up with a name. We should probably do that.
No. It's better if you let other people name you. It's more heroic sounding that way. To
Bertrand
name
just
one's
kind of
own
blinks
cadre,
at Trather.
to name one's own cadre smacks of egotism.
from a story writing perspective, I don't suppose he's necessarily wrong.
I mean, no, he's
Bertrand
not.
blinks
He's not
again,
really.
fixes something, hands it off to a person to the left. Like,
I mean, that's sort of how you name superheroes for the most part, I guess. Okay, fair enough. We'll workshop something, I guess. You guys are the Avengers now. Okay,
No.
settled. Done.
No,
Nope.
no.
Vetoed.
The co-workers.
Okay, the Defenders.
Nope, that's also taken.
Cooler, but taken.
West Coast
We could be-
Avengers.
No, stop it.
Baby X-Men.
Just the co-workers.
The co-workers. It doesn't exactly strike fear, but I mean, hey, it's honest. There's no showboating.
If we make it, that's the thing. We make this name mean what we want it to mean.
Yes.
Wait,
I mean, that's reasonable.
and really, I mean, like,
I have it. I have it.
This is us. Do we want to strike fear? Is that really the vibe that we're going for? Because the entire campaign up to this point would suggest otherwise.
Also, I really do have it.
Okay.
Okay.
The co-op.
I love this.
I don't
I
hate it.
mean, that's
Or
I
if we want
love
to-
it. This is like
If we
It kind of works.
yeah.
if we do want to strike fear, we could just be HR.
Oh.
I like the
no.
co-op though,
Yeah, the
because
co-op-
that's actually like a brand in Canada.
Yeah.
I do like
Okay.
that.
And I mean, it's very much how you operate.
Yes, we do cooperate with many people.
You're not wrong.
and each
Co-op.
other and-
And get them
Oh,
to
I co-op
cooperate
stuff.
with you whether they want
Specific
to or
way
not.
of organizing a business that's employee owned. So
Yeah.
I
The
mean,
co-op,
accurate.
solving our problems through synergy and
no. Those come down from corporate.
oh, right. Yes. Sorry. I got thanks for rescuing me. I got blanked on more
Wait, does
buzzwords.
that make me corporate?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh,
love it.
no.
I will henceforth no longer be known as the GM. I am corporate.
He is now head office.
That's right.
Now we all have to complain about you incessantly, though.
I'm no longer the DM. I am the HQ.
All right. Dibs on the water cooler.
It's
Trying-
temporarily broken.
to make a pun about transubstantiation
Wait, what now?
because of the corporate body of Christ.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
doing a really bad job, though.
it's okay, but you
I
tried.
mean, that's a reach.
It's,
is a
you know
reach.
what? It's fine. We'll just take all the separate pieces. It'll all come together afterwards.
Like, I'm
Okay.
proud of you for trying, but
Thank you.
It was worth a shot. She looks at the lot of you very confused. Because I'm gonna pretend.
oh no,
that-
this entire conversation has
all of
been
it? Okay,
happening
perfect.
in front of her.
Oh,
Okay, great, love it. Dig it.
Character.
She's like, do you know what side eye is?
Yes.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
familiar with shade. Okay, good.
Which is great because Cat's 100% perfect at that.
oh
already.
No, they're used to you by now. It's only been 3 days, but they're used to this.
No, I just mean cats in general
Oh,
have
fair,
that
fair,
face.
fair. Because I feel like this kind of nonsense happens anywhere you guys go.
the whole 3 days has been like this.
Basically, you're
They're
not
very
wrong.
competent, but they're also completely ridiculous.
I mean, that
How
makes a
did
good party,
this happen at the same
or
time?
at least a good podcast. Okay. Right. Well, I think at some point in the near future you should meet the Hawk. Well, formally meet the Hawk. You have met her before.
Yes.
Yeah,
Ah,
thought that.
I'm most impressed. She was too. Well, that being said, tomorrow we will return to the mountain, and I will send a messenger to arrange a meeting for you. I have responsibilities to attend to as a shepherd. When she says the word, she has her staff, or she has her spear in her hand. and she kind of knocks it against the ground, and the spear glows. It's one of my many responsibilities to see those who need help assisted, and Yahweh's light and his blessings spread forth. Shepherds are something you've heard of occasionally, in and out of this area, and kind of just anywhere most of you are from, you have heard of a shepherd. And I don't mean it in the traditional actual sheep herding sense. Who speaks Elven? Is it actually just Daniel?
Well, that
Actually,
Daniel,
Trather
do you
as
speak
well.
Elven?
Trather speaks Elven and Giant.
Okay.
I do know
Speak
someone
Elvish.
who literally actually speaks and learned Elvish, but I do not.
Until I either learn Mandalorian or Wookiee, I've not finished everything I need to in life. Okay, so the three of you that speak some amount of Elven, there's a word in Elven, Otaran, and it's a reference to kind of this concept of shepherding, but to a larger purpose. It's like an intermediary position. So the lady, basically all of you, I think there's maybe 2 left that we haven't recorded yet. Your side quest. There's a woman each of you have met who goes and where Yahweh sends her and completes the things, assists the people he directs her to. Similar to how she does those things, that's kind of the role of the shepherd, the Otaran, and that is what Zipporah has chosen to become. Has been chosen to become. Out of character. This is a class we added thanks to the play-by-post game on the Saving the Game Discord. This was another flip of a class. This is actually Warlock.
Cool.
I worked with Rich, DM Dad, kind of poking out around it, and this is what we came up with. It'll end up on the website at some point.
Interesting.
It's a little more, I don't want to say combat heavy than traditionally, but a little more melee oriented, with spears and staffs, but similar.
Right.
This is Shepherd Apora.
Yes, similar. Yeah, I guess if you want to, the title's not always used, but yeah, that would work. And as you guys kind of you make camp once again for the night. You've been here for a couple of days. The Jedid have fed you. You get up the next. As you make camp, the sun starts to set. Make me perception checks.
Alrighty.
Oh boy. Hey, there's the 7.
There it is. It always happens.
Look at
once.
that, right when it needs to be.
Reliable, like I like it.
Oh,
I got a 4.
Oh,
6.
Sweet mercy.
14.
Okay, well, that's pretty good, Peter. 7, 4, 8, 6, 6, 14. Okay.
So
Peter,
Peter's staying up late working
yes.
on some foundations because
Yes.
these tents are not
So,
dug in very deep.
Literally, as the sun is like setting on the horizon, you can kind of see the last bits of dusk and the sunset. Peter, you notice in the distance, and you kind of hear it first, and you kind of see this mist and shade kind of start to surround the encampment. And then you hear sounds of horns and trumpets, and in the distance, these humanoid figures kind of appear on the horizon, all around
I
the camp.
will start nudging my companions awake.
Okay. And you're only going to see a handful of them for our purposes, but as they come over, you nudge them, and no one's really asleep yet. It's just kind of the campfires are going up, the sun's setting. People are getting towards that point.
Well, I'll start nudging people and pointing then, just like
That works. Drunonia kind of rouses all the Jedit, and people take up defensive positions. Zipporah just kind of gives you guys a look and a nod, and the Warforged look like they're actually kind of excited because, time to do the thing.
I will make my way towards the watchtower and try to get a high vantage point and not have to climb up on a roof that historically has not
acrobatics
gone well
check.
for me.
Make me
No.
you're fine.
No, we're not in that one city. It's fine.
Oh, that's true.
Use
That
the
only
stair.
happens there. Okay, so in the distance, you see, and particularly you guys see 5 of them. These creatures kind of come over the horizon, and Daniel, Thatton recognizes them not like individually, but this kind of creature. They exist largely in the desert, and some people call them dark elves. Some people call them deep elves. Sort of heavily gray-skinned, black and white hair, and they kind of come over the horizon. There's several dozen of them spread out, and some of them are making their way directly at the six of you. Initiative. Thanks for listening to City on the Hill Gaming. For more information, you can find us online at cityonthehillgaming.com, email us at cityonthehillgaming@gmail.com, or find us on Twitter at cityonthehillgame. For more information on saving the game, you can find Peter, Grant, and Jenny at stgcast.org or at Saving the Game on Twitter. Thanks, and have a blessed day. Ben.
Humid. There's music everywhere at night, and it's a beautiful place to live.
Oh no.
That frankly doesn't surprise me.
It's amazing.
It sounds quite nice, actually. Peter.
If you like history, it's the place to be.
The imagination is infinite. It can encompass all you want it to encompass if you let it. Everything we see around us, whether functional or decorative, once existed in someone's imagination. Every building, every fixture, every chair, every table, every vase, every road, every toaster. In fact, the world we live in is largely a manifestation of many individual and collective imaginations applied to the task of altering pre-existing reality. So the question becomes, how can you position yourself to dream well?
I like it.
That is the concluding note from Chapter 1 of Wonder Book.
I don't know that name.
It's a book about writing sci-fi and fantasy by Jeff Vandermeer.
Oh, okay. Nice.
It was a birthday present this year.
Oh, I saw you post about that. Jenny.
Sure. A Del Rey book published by Ballantine Books. Copyright 1978 by Clifford D. Symack. All rights reserved under international and Pan-American copyright conventions. Published in the United States of America by Ballantine Books, a subdivision of Random House Incorporated, New York, and simultaneously in Canada by Random House of Canada Limited, Toronto. Library of Congress catalog card number 78-16657, ISBN 0-345-33956. Manufactured in the United States of America. That was probably the last time Random House ever put the city of publication in the front of their book. Ah!
Library salt!
I cataloged 53 books yesterday. Did Penguin Random House put a publication place in a single one of them? No!
I'm sensing a touch of disconcertion there, but we'll go with it.
Okay.
Grant.
The hegemony consul sat on the balcony of his ebony spaceship and played Rachmaninoff's Prelude in C-sharp minor on an ancient but well-maintained Steinway while great green saurian things surged and bellowed in the swamps below. A thunderstorm was brewing to the north. Bruised black clouds silhouetted a forest of giant gymnosperms while stratocumulus towered 9 kilometers high in a violent sky. Lightning rippled along the horizon. Closer to the ship, occasional vague reptilian shapes would blunder into the interdiction field, cry out, and then crash away through indigo mists. The consul concentrated on a difficult section of the prelude and ignored the approach of storm at nightfall. The Fatline receiver chimed.
That's from Hyperion.
By the way, while Ryan's resetting his mic, I've discovered a series that I don't think will continue, but I want to continue. It's a book series written by a guy who was recently on Nailed It on Netflix.
Nice. That's a horrifying start.
No, it's like, okay, here's the thing. It actually sounds absolutely hilarious, and none of the reviews are bad.
Okay.
So I think the lowest review I saw was a 3-star. So it's not bad. I've ordered it for the library already.
Nailed It's the weird, like, saw it on Pinterest and tried it myself thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Specifically with like cakes and stuff.
It is actually kind of funny.
Fair enough.
It's quite. I prefer the Mexican one. I find the
no.
Mexican one funnier. But yeah, Benjamin Mumford Zisk. I'm hoping to be able to read a segment of his book for the next sound check.
That's a name.
You know
Yes.
that's right.
That is a name.
That is many things, and a name is most certainly lengthy, and that's a good library card name.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
William.
Hi, this is my typical interesting check.
I mean, you're consistent, and I appreciate that. And it always comes through clearly, and that's important.
All right.
It's that audio background. I like it deeply. Daniel. Say all the words. Oh, he may be muted.
Or any
There.
or any of them.
I'll take any words. Daniel?
And there he goes.
Yep, there we go. Un minuto, por favor.
Is it me? Am I working?
It's a Daniel.
Yeah.
There it is.
We caught a wild Daniel.